What is going on, guys? Welcome to Real Reviews, your number one place for the best reviews and reactions to your favorite shows, movies, music, and more. Man, do I have a good one for you to talk about this week, man. Crawl 2019, directed by Sam Raimi, starring forgive me for this pronunciation, Kaya Scodelario or something as the main character, and Anson Boon as the supporting father, and also a little black doggy that's running around throughout the film. But man, what a freaking classic, man. If y'all haven't seen it, you know what? First thing out the gate, real review certified. That is right. We're just going to go ahead and throw that out there, get that out the way, because damn, man, it's been a while since we've gotten such a great horror movie, and if anything, a horror movie involving animals, man. This shit was fucking nuts, bro. It was crazy from the beginning to the end. It just now was nonstop horrific. I mean, some of the violence and brutality that you're going to see in this film is definitely not for children. Some of the suspenseful moments are definitely going to make you make your palms sweat. It's going to make you get out your seat. It's going to leave you speechless. It's going to leave you gasp. There's a ton of shit going on in this film, and I'm really looking forward to covering this one, guys. But anyways, first and foremost, as we always do, spoiler friendly review first, spoiler free after. Spoiler friendly, it is a great film. 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 You need to get your ass in the seats, in the theaters, because you want to see those gators on the big screen. You want to see those set pieces on the big screen, that bayou kind of rainy setting on the big screen. You want to see that horror, that suspense, all those things up close and personal in the big screen. You definitely want to check that out. Don't bring your children. Don't bring your kids. Don't bring anybody with a weak stomach or a weak, or at least a more passive mind, because there is some brutality in this film that is great. If you're a fan of that kind of stuff, you're in for a freaking amazing experience. If that kind of stuff makes you squeamish, then stay away, because we haven't got something this brutal in quite a few years now. Legitimately brutal, not just blood splatter. I'm talking like primal. Getting devoured by a predator. It's pretty freaking graphic. Anyways, now on to the spoilers. And the free reigning breakdown of the film. Jesus Christ. I mean, geez Louise, help those poor people. If you have seen this film, you already know those gators are ruthless, and they're freaking huge, and they are hungry. And you would be foolish to think that any of those poor meat bags of humans would stand anything more than a chance against these fuckers. They don't have a shot. Any encounter with these things is pretty much guaranteed death, unless you're the main characters, which for some reason have an immortality ability, which is my one gripe with this film. I want to get off right off the bat is that the mother-father combo get attacked and survive about 4 to 5 alligator attacks each. In the case of the father, actually getting one of his arms bitten off and one of his legs disconnected, from the bone, so it's just hanging by some muscles, which obviously wouldn't be able to fight or navigate through the situation in such a condition, but nonetheless takes away nothing from the film. Beautiful set pieces. I'm talking about the rainy, the wind, the trees, the gray kind of storm, the cloudy vibes. Great setup, great set pieces. And the story is good too. It's about not too much story. They do get right into it, but it is revolving around a daughter-father combo who have had kind of a turbulent personal or family life, but they do reconcile throughout this situation. So when there are those moments of character building and backstory, that's pretty much what it's going to involve, is this mother and this daughter and father talking about their history and lives together, specifically the daughter's involvement in swimming athletic teams. But who gives a flying F about any of that stuff? Because the stars of this film are the gators. What the hell? I personally have a pretty significant fear of alligators. I've seen a couple up close, in a wild setting in Florida, which I think is where this movie did take place. And God forbid I ever am on the wrong end of one of those things' attacks. They are ruthless, they are mindless, and they are designed to chew you up, swallow you, and keep moving. And that is what they do in this film. There is a high body count. There's about 6-7 deaths in the film, which is great. And man, these gators are vicious. They hiss, they snap, they bite, they stalk, they track you down, they bite your leg, they roll, they drown you, they eat people alive in this film. People get eaten alive. People get dragged underwater, eaten slowly. And I'm not talking eaten like, oh wow, he got eaten kind of like, that was kind of, he got kind of eaten off screen. That was pretty sick. They show these people getting eaten as if you're watching it happen. Like these gators are like cornering them in like a shallow pool of water. They're chewing on them, like they're gnawing them, they're mauling them. It is disgusting. It is hard to watch. It is traumatizing, and it is amazing. So definitely check this one out. There's let me cover some scenes that were particularly crazy. There's a scene where a child gets eaten, like a teenager. A band of looters is looting a store, and they get attacked by gators. And one of the looters is like a teenager, and he's in the store, he's robbing cookies and all this kind of dumb stuff while his older family members are stealing an ATM. And he gets eaten like a motherfucker. The thing bites his leg, wipes him off his feet in about a foot of water. You see the thing, that's how how the alligators do it. They kind of slowly work their way up around the prey. They get a comfortable position, meanwhile gnawing and breaking his bones and his flesh. While he's doing so, they just kind of drag him underwater and they bite him apart piece by piece and enjoy their meal, swallowing it without chewing it. It is horrifying to watch. There is a scene in the trailer where those two guys show up at the house trying to save the main character, the I forget her name, the daughter and the father, who are stuck in the house, and those guys get destroyed. So the one guy you see that gets bit from the cellar door, that is a big alligator. That thing drags him into the cellar. It slams him all over the walls and the bricks and the pipes, obviously causing damage and causing him to bleed. And then it bites his head off. So it goes ahead and bites down on his head. It drags him off to a lair and just, enjoys himself a snack. It's very, very, very hard to watch. It's very dark. It's very gritty. It's very bloody. And obviously these people are in excruciating pain before eventually succumbing to this apex predator that is gnawing away on their flesh. The other guy, there's two of them. The other guy is outside working on freeing the boat because it got tangled in some vines or something. He gets eaten by like 10 alligators because he's in the water out in the front yard. He's not aware that there's alligators everywhere. So they drag him into the water. They throw him around. They do a feeding frenzy on his ass, and they show it. And that shit is freaking brutal. The dude is getting eaten by like 10 alligators. They're taking bits and pieces off of him, and eventually he gets lucky enough that one of them actually goes in and pops off his arm and his head. So he gets ripped into pieces and shared by like 10 alligators. And if you look up a video online of the Komodo dragons eating a deer, it's a pretty horrific video if you can find it, but it's about like 20 or to 30 Komodo dragons eating on one deer, and they're just swarming all over this thing like freaking like zombies, and that's what it looks like in this scene, but obviously a lot more gritty and a lot more realistic. It looks like it's actually happening. The effects on the alligators are great. So wow, I mean, that's really it. A lot of brutality. The father gets his arm bitten off by an alligator, and you think he just gets it bit off clean. He does not. The alligator bites his arm off, does a death roll, halfway tears it off at the bone. So you see the tendons and the bones and shit hanging out, and eventually just goes ahead and finishes the job and just kind of rips off the majority of his arm, which is very, very painful looking. And like I said, disgusting. There's a lot of stuff in this film that it makes you want to vomit. And not, like I said, not in a jump scare, haha kind of way. In a freaking like I said, showing bones being ripped apart and flesh hanging from people's limbs. Like it's pretty gross and gritty. If you're a fan of gritty, bloody, realistic horror films, especially when it comes to the violence and the terror of despair and helplessness, that's something trying to kill you, Crawl is the one for you guys. They all survive. They all survive. It was kind of hinted at that the girl was going to get eaten throughout the film, that she wasn't going to make it to the end. I think even that might have even been an original ending based on some of the scenes that were shown and whatnot in the film, but I think they decided to go ahead and drop that because that was actually more of a twist than anything, because you really thought this bitch was going to die. You're like, there's no way she's going to survive these gators. And this is just going to kind of be a hopeless situation that's going to end even more hopelessly when she gets chewed up by a large alligator. But it doesn't happen. Everybody survives. So the dad survives, the girl survives, and their little dog survives too. And eventually they get rescued by a helicopter. And it's a happy ending, showing that the girl has finally accomplished something with her life, I guess, by surviving this horrible ordeal. But yeah, guys, all of that stuff is unnecessary. There is plenty of alligators in this film. There's plenty of kills in this film. There's plenty of real dark, gritty themes and horror. I mean, it's a wild ride, guys. I'm sure it'll cause controversy. We'll see. We'll see what the critics say about this film, because god damn, there is some cannibal Holocaust level violence in this film with these gators just eating people alive. It is sickening, truly sickening. I mean, if you have a weak stomach, you are gonna, like I said, I mean, if you think you can handle it, go ahead and be my guest and find out for yourself. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for this one. Crawl. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, and also leave a comment in the comment section, letting me know if you agree or disagree with anything I covered in this video. And also, please remember to subscribe and send any feedback, designs, or ideas to reelreviewsandreactions at gmail.com. That's real with 2 E's. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Watch out for them gators. Peace.